Breaking news here on Martyn Lucas Investor. Members asked me overnight to talk about Rivian this morning. Very, very important. Some massive news. What's going on? Should we be buying this? Well, obviously, it's already starting to trim off and come down from where it was. Is it a buy the rumor, sell the news? In this video, I'm going to show you the buy levels, the sell levels, who's buying, who's selling, inside trading, the news, what's going on, the profitability score, the balance sheet, solvency score, profitability score, short interest, the whole thing to give you an informed decision whether you should even buy Rivian or not at this level. Remember, we've seen it rise all the way up to 150, 160, 170, and all the way down to 9. Now we've got a bit of news. It popped up to above 20. Now it's back down to 16 again. Is it a good time to buy this stock? Well, let's talk about it. First of all, we all know Rivian. We see it on our roads all the time. We see Amazon vans. I've sat in a Rivian truck. I've interviewed the driver. I've seen how it works. Amazon like it, of course. They invest in it. But we did see some sell-offs, though, from Ford and Amazon after the initial pop. But is it a good time to buy, and why is it up? Well, I can give you the news, and I'm also going to give you all the numbers. So let's start with the news first of all. But before I do, please do tap the like button and consider subscribing to our channel. We're live 12 hours a day. We aim to be the most honest, reliable, and for news on YouTube TV. Now, just so you know, I don't own this stock. I only own 100% of my money, all of my money. I don't have any money in the bank. I just use Robinhood as my bank, and all my money is in the S&P 500. So I'm very bullish on the markets. I am an investor. I am all invested. However, I don't invest in individual stocks because that way my views are genuine, they're real, they're not biased, I'm impartial. I do that because I interview CEOs. I've had lots of CEOs on the show and many more to come. That's why I only own the S&P. So let's look at the news. Rivian and Volkswagen Group announced plans for joint venture to create industry-leading vehicle software technology and for strategic investment by Volkswagen. Now, let's just get one thing straight. We know that Rivian potentially is a great business. However, it loses a lot of money every time it sells a car, a huge amount of money. We always knew it needed an input from either dilution, which we hoped it wouldn't do, or go to outside funding, which is what it's done. Is this enough, though? I will tell you the amount of investment here is a drop in the bucket, considering the size of Rivian. So is it going to change their fortunes? Well, we'll look at the numbers in a moment. Rivian and Volkswagen Group intend to enter a joint venture to create next generation software-defined vehicle SDV platforms to be used in both companies. Future electric vehicles. Volkswagen Group to invest an initial $1 billion in Rivian, with up to $4 billion in planned additional investment for a total expected deal size of $5 billion. Joint venture is expected to build on Rivian's industry-leading software and electrical architecture to create best-in-class software-defined vehicle technology platform. Let's scroll down at this news a minute, and then we'll look at all the numbers. Let's have a look. There's Mr. Scaringe, of course. Let's scroll down here. Okay, so this was just out last night. I'm just reading it to you this morning for the first time. Rivian and Volkswagen have today announced their intention to form an equally controlled and owned joint venture to create next-generation electrical architecture and best-in-class software technology. The partnership is anticipated to accelerate the development of software for Rivian and Volkswagen Group. Now, initially, this is a good idea because lots of companies, only Tesla has been able to pull this off. They've been able to be profitable and all the rest of it. It's very, very hard to do. In history, it's very, very hard for anyone to become a car manufacturer and compete. Remember, money is made from repairing cars, servicing cars, all the maintenance, all of the warranties, insurances. It's not in making the cars. That's not where the money comes from. However, first time in history, it's been achieved by Tesla. So for other companies who are losing money when they produce cars to come together, it's probably a good idea. And I would imagine more companies will do this and become partners in this way to reduce their expenditure. It is expected to allow both companies to combine their complementary strengths and lower costs. That's exactly what I just said there before reading it. Per vehicle by increasing scale and speeding up innovation globally. Rivian's proven in-market zonal hardware design and integrated technology platform are expected to serve as the foundation for future SDV development in the JV that we apply to both companies' vehicles. Rivian plans to contribute its electrical architecture expertise and is expected to license existing intellectual property rights to the joint venture. Both companies aim to launch vehicles benefiting from the technology created with the joint venture in the second half of the decade. So this is a long-term investment. In the short term, the joint venture is expected to enable Volkswagen Group to utilize Rivian's existing electrical architecture and software platform. The partnership's ambition is to accelerate Volkswagen Group's SDV plan and transition to a pure zonal architecture. Each company will continue to separately operate their respective vehicle businesses. Okay, so they're joining part of the businesses, but they're keeping separate. Okay, they're just kind of like pooling their resources. Now let's look at the numbers. Now, what you're seeing right now is a news item. This is from Business Wire. You might think, how can I get all these different news items under one subscription? In fact, I can give you them all for free. Hold on and I'll tell you all about it. You don't have to have Seeking Alpha, Business Wire, Bloomberg, all of these. You only have to have a membership from me and you can get all this news from all these different services using my links, which I'm going to give you in a moment. So now I'm going to show you the numbers using that software, and you can have a look for yourself. And I'll tell you all about our software that we use, which we believe is the most advanced algorithmic software. Right, let's first of all look at the intrinsic value. The intrinsic value is $26.66, which means it's undervalued at $16.24. So you might be thinking, give me my checkbook, let me sign up. Good news, plus it's undervalued. Yes, but there's no DCF valuation here. No DCF valuation. They haven't provided that. So the valuation is unreliable. Now then, if we look at the financials, you will see that we have been rising steadily. On March 30th, 5 billion. We are expecting to cool down, so don't expect this to take off. This is a long-term investment. They're still losing money. This was very much by the rumor, sell the news, if you like. People have jumped on in, got excited, it's gone up, they've taken profit, it's gone back down. I wouldn't be chasing this today if I were you. There's better opportunities out there. We are expecting growth, but it's not for a couple of years yet. It's a long-term investment, this one. Operating income down 2%, net income down 2%, financing cash flow, which is a negative, down 48%. You get the idea. The only thing that's up slightly is operating cash flow at plus 5%. Now then, let's look at the balance sheet for Rivian. 15.7 billion in assets. Cash makes up 7.9 billion. Big companies like this don't mind when interest rates are high with the amount of cash they hold. However, what do we do with the cash? We are just basically losing it every time we sell a car, essentially, at the moment. 15.7 billion in assets, nearly half of that is in cash, just about half of it. If we look at it here, you can see exactly 49.9% is in cash. What about our debt position? Well, our debt position is, we've got long-term debt of 4 million. So we can pay off all our debts. What Rivian have for them is a good cash reservoir. They're very well funded. They've got lots of money, but they lose lots of money, but they can afford to for a while. This plan with Volkswagen will not initially change their car business, but will make them more efficient in time, not just yet. Anyway, the 5 billion injection will be helpful, but it won't change the direction of the business short term. Let's scroll down. You can see all margins are terrible. as you can see. They lose money on every single car they sell. They have to improve efficiency. And now, as you can see, as I'm talking about it, the stock price is coming down. Be careful if you are buying this now. People can get overexcited. I think the overexcitement may run into the first hour this morning and then quickly run out when this news gets out. So this video is very important. Let's come back to this profitability. As you can see, bright red. This is not good. If we compare profitability, if I give you an example of Tesla, TSLA, and I'll tell you how you can get this software in a moment. It just keeps getting better. If we go back to Tesla and we scroll down to their profitability, look at that, 66. That's why Tesla can crush Rivian competition-wise, 20%. So their solvency, however, is 55. They have cash, and that will improve once this report enters this software, which will be later today. That will improve. Now then, as you can see here, for a growth stock, I'm prepared to pay 25% over value because there's potential growth. People overbuy it. 25% is my ceiling. I don't pay more than that. After that, it gets a bit silly. But 16% downside, worst case scenario, 36% upside. Now, 36% upside, 1624. Obviously, this was last night before the bell has gone. We're waiting to see. So this will change in a moment. But anyway, they think we're there now. Just about 36% we're there now. Rivian, the best case scenario, which I don't think we can do, is $37. Now then, as you can see, insiders recently, they knew this was going to happen. They've been selling the stock. But these are very small amounts, just tax purposes. $1.7 million worth of shares sold recently. That is not a lot. They probably won't even know they're doing it. It's automatic tax positions. The short interest, 18.95%. Not enough for a short squeeze. Yes, we got a nice little bounce last night. We got some after hours news. It was good. And we got some volume. But I don't think this will continue. And even if it does, there's not enough short interest to send us into a short squeeze. Let's look at the news. If there's not any audio, any music, I'll play this for you. Let's have a look and let's see if we've got any news here. No, unfortunately, they're playing music. When they play music, I have to skip it. But this was the news last night talking about Rivian and the new deal. I can look here, though. I can present this news item to you. My review will be here soon. If you scroll down, my reviews are probably already here. Let's have a look. I've reviewed this stock before. Load more. Let's have a look. There you go. There's my Rivian analysis when I was in the Rivian truck. Anyway, let's go and have a listen to this and see what this gentleman here has to say on CNBC.
Excitement for the last 50 years. So you've got the entire Western car making industry being taken aback at the speed at which Chinese electric vehicle makers like BYD and NIO are advancing. Last week, you saw Fisker filing for bankruptcy. The US has 100% tariffs on Chinese EV makers, and Europe recently proposed up to 48% tariffs. Rivian, just in 2021, was worth more than Volkswagen. Now Volkswagen is rescuing Rivian with a $5 billion phased bailout. So there's a lot going on in the EV sector. And add to that, consumers aren't buying EVs as much as companies thought. So the background to Volkswagen is that Volkswagen has fallen behind in two areas, on electric vehicles themselves, but also on autonomous driving and other software within the car. And Rivian is strong on both. So this investment helps VW both in terms of autonomous driving and electric vehicles. But of course, VW is way behind. If you look at the global car market, there's about 89 million cars going to be sold in 2024, according to our forecasts. And 42 and only about 15% of them are going to be electric vehicles. But within those electric vehicles of about 12 million vehicle sales, 40% are going to be made in China. And that means Western companies, both Tesla, VW, and others, are falling behind. VW share in battery electric vehicles in 2024, we estimate that to be just 8%, whereas BYD is on 15% and Tesla might finish the year on 16%.
Further clarification on the position here for Volkswagen, because you're making it very clear that the announcement with Rivian is a positive for the German automaker just because they have struggled in this space. However, ultimately, when will this investment in Rivian pay off for VW, given that, as you're saying, they're so far behind in the EV race?
Well, I think it'll take a long time to pay off because Rivian doesn't. Rivian makes premium cars. Some of their SUVs are priced at $70,000. They make premium cars just at the time when the EV market is going mass market. And one of the threats is very, very cheap Chinese-made battery electric vehicles, very, very cheap and high tech. So I think whilst this is a catch-up move for VW, I think it could take several years for it to make an impact on its revenues.
So there you go. I think, as I said, pretty much he repeated everything I said there. It's a long-term investment. It benefits Volkswagen more than it does Rivian. All it did provide was an injection of cash, but they are burning through cash at the moment. It's a survival net, really, but it's good news. But I think it's more of a buy the rumor, sell the news. If we look at the last 90 days, there was our positive news, just 26%. It still, after 30 days, still 26%. It jumped up the last 7 days to 41%, and today it's a whopping 66%. So there is my update on Rivian today. Now, I did say to you, if you want the software, I can provide this software to you at the best deal, better than CNBC, Bloomberg, Mad Money, you name it. I partner with this company, Alpha Spread, and I have a link which provides you a free plan or a lifetime discount with my membership that you get here. So let me give everybody in the chat right now who's with me live the Alpha Spread link. Not only do you get this software that I use, not only do you get the AI plan as well, there's an AI version of this where you can ask it questions about a stock. You also get access to these news items now. So if they're on, for example, they're on Bloomberg or they're on wherever they are on a paid site, you will get them through the news section here. And so you don't have to have 20 subscriptions. Just my plan here provides you this service. So it really is a phenomenal deal for my members. All right. So if you want to become a member, I'll give that to my members now. I'm making this during a live show. There you go. So there's my update on Rivian. I wouldn't buy this morning. I think people have overbought it again. I think it's got a long way to go before things recover. They are losing so much money every time they sell a car. Click above my head for all the links, martynlucas.com. If you do go to the all links page, you just simply scroll down and you will find my newsletter for your Christmas cards and your birthday cards. Scroll down for all the links, and what you're looking for is Alpha Spread, and there is Alpha Spread right there. That'll give you the link to this software, and there's other things. We can get free stocks from the US and the UK and all these wonderful things as well. All right, let me scroll back up there, tidy that up a bit. There you go. Also, I'll put below in the description of this video all the links to Discord, all the links to Alpha Spread and everything else, the website and all the rest of it. Over here, I shall put my full reviews. I've done nearly 200 reviews, 200 stock reviews over here using Alpha Spread. And down here, I'll put the Rivian playlist so you can check the charts out. Sensei's provided the buy zone, the sell zone, support levels, all of that stuff. You can see all of that in one playlist. There you go. Until next time, as always, take care of yourselves and each other.